that can't be the focus for Waterford. They got to continue to be able to keep the shots on goal going and the active play pushing. Stay away from the physicality as much as they can. Lock it down, but not shell. Muskegon was going to try to charge, and they did. Isaiah Huffner got one. It was a 3-2 win for the Sharks. Last year, won via sweep. This time with the win yesterday, it gives them an opportunity again to win a home ice, or at worst, if Muskegon finds a way to get this victory today, we'll force a Game 5 on next Saturday. If we get to that point, we'll figure out how we get there, because it's probably a straight shot there and back, but that's not what the Sharks are trying to get done today. Muskegon, that's their only option to keep their season alive. As far as everything else, your starters should be about the same as mentioned in from Game 3. Cuthbertson, McCarthy, Belvich. I think Jeremy Joyce might draw in the lineup today, according to Muskegon. I think he made the trip up there today. Gamber, Taylor, Grover, Josh Schaefer, Nolan Leclerc, Chris Hawkins, and Isaiah Humpner might be an extra forward in there. Again, no Gavin Cunningham because number 3, Nathan Albrecht, has the call-up. He played yesterday. Joe DeFay, Joe DeWitt, 5 and 9. Luke Precision, 55. Raleigh Picture, the captaincy, number 72. Yesterday, the starter was Devon Lea. Matt Skydman, number 33, backed him up. I believe that'll still be the case. Elijah Gibbons will be in the goal crease for the Sharks. Rogel Lang should back him up. 49 starts, 36 will be the backup. And the forwards for the Sharks, if things are unchanged, will be Cole Halgamo, Zach Molkowski, Josh Hill, Kieran Carlisle, Michael Redmond, Hunter Keppel, Andrew Polosha, Alex Gregorich, Spencer Bowman. Justin McComas was not here yesterday, did not play. Papandrea, Goody, Redmond, Prober, Gibbs, Siegel, and Formica will be the back-end defense as the Sharks will find their way back on the ice. If there are some adjustments, I will relay those to you as we go. So the Sharks are getting set to make their way on the ice. Every single one of these games in between these two teams in the postseason has been decided by one goal. Waterford stole the first one at Lakeshore Sports Center. They won 4-3. Muskegon took Game 2 6-5. Game 3 in the best of 5 was 3-2 as Josh Hill got the game winner by the time of the second period, and that held up. Will this fourth game also be decided by one goal? That is the question. So we'll get set for the anthems break, and then we'll get into puck drop.
Lakeland Ice Arena, home of your Waterford Sharks. Tonight's contest is against the visiting Muskegon Voyagers, Game 4 of this championship series. For the starting lineups for the Muskegon Voyagers, number 10, Luke McCarthy. Number 16, Andrew Taylor. Number 44, Isaiah Humpner. Number 55, Luke Righteson. Number 72, Riley Pitcher. And in net number 32, Devon Lea. And now for your Waterford Sharks, number 15, Josh Hill. Number 25, Joseph Gibbs. Number 29, Tyler Ruff. Number 63, Alex Gregorich. Number 71, Spencer Bowman. And in net number 49, Elijah Gibbons. May you all please rise. Remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
So as it stands with the announcements again, Zach Gregorich here pulling double duty on the side for the announcements. It's good to hear his voice again. Tyler Groth draws into the lineup. Number 29, I wonder if that takes out number 9, Nick Redmond. If the Redmond brothers couldn't make the trip both times, we'll see who ends up getting moved out on the side, or maybe even Nick Papandri at number 5. I have to keep track of that as we see it on the ice. Again, as you mentioned, the first 3 games in this series all decided by 1 goal, as Alex Gregorich, number 63, assistant captain, sees getting some camera shots and alongside Joe Gibbs. The big boys are on the ice right now. Isaiah Humpner, number 44, on the other side, got the one that made it a 1-goal game. It was a little uncomfortable for the Sharks, but they ended up closing off that third period nicely. So what's underway? Josh Hill now will go ahead and win this one against Andrew Taylor, and the Muskegon Voyagers will immediately send this one ahead. It is the Waterford Sharks in the home blacks in the mix of the orange and white striping. The Muskegon Voyagers once again on the road with the teal tops and the white jerseys. This is Luke McCarthy. Will shovel a backhand down the ice, and the Zebras will not blow this dead as this is in behind the net. I think it got lost in between the moorings. Nice little score bug that we have here on the MIHL side. Good work there between Kelly and Frank. We're pulling out all the stops here in this potential closeout one more time. Again, 1 year removed, saw the Waterford Sharks raise a banner for the first time and lift the Bill Long Memorial Cup in a sweep last year. Now we get to Game 4 between these same 2 teams. They've met for a 5th consecutive time as this one's played now toward the forehand, and Huffner's chance will be right into Gibbons' glove. So as I mentioned yesterday, and it's worth repeating, the Sharks did break the seal on Hunter Keppel's goal yesterday. It was the first time they scored in the first period in this particular playoff series. Chance at the net now. Gibbons able to close the 5-hole. He's already made 3 saves. But the Sharks collectively in the first period were outscored 4-1 in totality. Zach Dance's squad already making changes. Elijah Gibbons played his best game as a return member of the Sharks yesterday, only allowing 2. And if he can do that again, the Sharks will be well on their way to doing this one more time in the next year. Heavy as the crown is the moniker for the Sharks, and they're going to try to get the job done today. Otherwise, they're going to need to go to Muskegon on Saturday. That's Muskegon fighting for their playoff lives. You get some combatants in the circle that get moved out, and now we are underway again as with just about a minute expired left in the first. Andrew Polsha now off the chase as it's intercepted by Nolan LeClaire, who's been red hot in the postseason for Muskegon. There's a good body contact near the right side boards against Gramber. Kept in at the point, a shot from Joe DeWitt gets deflected up into the benches. So in alongside for Nolan LeClaire, again, he had a point yesterday as well, so he's got 13 points in the span of about 5 games in the mix because you play 2, and this can be the Game 4 side of it. So we'll see what ends up happening here between these two, but his production has jumped to about 3.5 per game in the postseason as the shot goes wide. Cole Halgeman now trying to get this out. This is kept in at the blue line and then shot wide again and across the right side red line. This will gain the neutral zone now. And Muskegon gets a chance to play with the puck. I believe I saw number 6, Christian Montgomery. He'll be a new entrant here from yesterday's game, which he did not play. I don't think he made the travel. And alongside with Chuxton, as this is now set up. Good hand-eye out of the air as this is knocked away. Zach Molkowski now just to McComas. Molkowski gets stick lifted from behind, and now McComas will throw this into the corner. So I'll make sure I'll circle number 91 in my sheet as he's playing today. This is intercepted. Good back check here for Zach, though, as he's able to get the steal from Grover. And now from right to left, Sharks want to go ahead from this 200 feet, but they can't do so because they've iced it. So my guess is in between now with Groth added on the defensive side and McComas, number 91, added in, that it's going to take out both 19 and 9, Michael and Nick Redmond, as I don't believe that they were able to play on the Sunday game. as this is recollected now here for Zach Grover. And a chance we put in toward the right side red line as the Sharks have to circle in behind their own net. There's some body contact that sends this one back down the ice and get reset here for Joe DeFay. DeFay had a pretty decent game and alongside Joe DeWitt, as this is knocked away from Zach Molkowski. He'll just go ahead and take a change from Matt Berger's squad. There's one lone forechecker up there for the Sharks, and Spencer Bowman goes back to try to get the puck as Josh Hill will pry it loose. Spin and turn around for Nathan Albrecht, as this will be a one-touch. Good avoidance of a hit there and alongside for DeFay. And now the Sharks will take this pass from 50. Try to take it off the end boards now as this will be knocked away. Joe Gibbs, little reverse hit on the other side as Alex Gregorich throws the body as well. Josh Hill trying to get it loose, and Gregorich not leaving anybody alone. Shovels in the corner now for Josh Hill. Josh Hill, big hit, takes out Joe DeFay, wipes him out. Picks up the stick now. This goes just over Hill's blade as it's pushed in the right side corner. And now Muskegon trying to return the favor. The hits have not subsided here from game 3 and 4, I can tell you that. As this is put in around the end boards, and now Muskegon trying to go right to left. Sauce pass gets intercepted by Grego. He gets all spun around, and Bowman insert the backside, flip it all the way down the ice, and go ahead and get puck possession. This is a shovel in the corner. This goes right to Muskegon. But Bowman's right there off the intercept, chips it nicely off the glass, and Raleigh Picture with Luke Precision will go get a chance to pick this one up now. We're still scoreless, 16:25 left in the first. As Nick Papandrea, it's too far for him. Good to see Papa G back on the ice because they're going to need his work, number 5. And we'll get a whistle away from the play, 16-18. So the longer that this stays scoreless, the better it's going to work out, I believe, for Waterford. Because if you get into a track meet in between these two, it's probably not what you want to see. Again, that's more so of what we got in games 1 and game 2. Polosha, sweet backhand. Here's the pass across. Kind of wish he would have taken that himself because he's already been so hot. But that was a great move. Theo Goody. And off the chip, as this is near the right side, down on the backhand, try to send a feed across the goal mouth. And now Kieran Carlisle off the puck chop. Have to go back and get a retrieval here. That's Hunter Keppel. Keppel now takes a big hit and near the right side boards as it took out one of the Sharks. And flip back down the ice. And the Sharks have iced it against themselves, 15:45. Hopefully Hunter Keppel was able to pop back up there. We will get a D-zone draw here for Waterford. Cole Halgamo's line is out there. Again, number 2, 63, Alex Gregorich. Justin McComas, 91. You want to see that secondary goal scoring. Matt Berger's squad is getting a little talking to here from the Zebras. We'll see what they want to do. Are we already going to be issuing warnings? Because it's a little bit too early for that. It is a matinee day game. Now in toward the right side boards, DeWitt will keep this one in as Muskegon tries to work to the right side red line. Waterford, Polosha looking for a breakout pass for Cole Halgamo as that one lifted over Muskegon, but just couldn't bounce off a couple of the bodies. Halgamo knows he's got to get back on his horse as Muskegon finds the entry. They'll just flip it in the right side red line. Theo Goody now, and off the retrieval trying to get away from Ryan Gamber. And off the spin and turn, still contested here for Jared Siegel. Again, it's still relatively new for Jared, but he's flipped right in here for the Sharks over the last probably about 10 or 12 games and looked good. Sharks have iced it again. So we are still just inside the first 5 minutes of this one. If the Sharks find a way to get a victory today, they will lift the Bill Long Memorial Cup for a second straight time. Muskegon wins, they force the game 5 when we go back to Muskegon on Saturday. This one now chipped in off the end boards. Cole Halgamo will pick it up. Halgamo now with the puck. Sharks will get some reinforcements as Goody goes to the bench. Halgamo still with it now on his backhand. Works his way for a good shot. Here's a rebound. Lay made the first save. Justin McComas now, number 91, off the puck retrieval. Probert smartly shovel this one in the corner. We'll see if the Sharks can win the chase. Somebody lost their lumber, and now an opportunity here for Ryan Gamber. Nice move off the inside out, got a space to shoot. A blocker save from Gibbons as he brushed it near the left side wall. Here's a pass right out in front, too far, and alongside for Gamber, Slapper. That one hits the glass and goes wide for Nathan Albrecht, kept in the zone and funneled in the corner. Muskegon doing some good work here, trying to keep some sustained zone time as they'll shovel this into the left side boards. Bowman off the outreach. Here's the clapper through the traffic, and somehow Gibbons got a piece of that. This has been Muskegon's best shift of the game so far as we get a stoppage. So Gibbons already has to be active here early, and he's looked good so far in these last stretch of games at Waterford. We got a neutral zone draw. A little bit of a break there for the Sharks. Josh Hill will win this one straight back. And now for Groff. Groff now will take the pass across, and Sharks will have to flip it in. You got Bowman and Gregorich out there now. Gregorich off the left, hunts the puck, wins the battle. And they'll send this now to the right side. Gregorich still trying to hound, and alongside with Josh Hill. This goes to Grego. Here's the pass. He was looking for Bowman. And this one bounced off the outside of the mesh. Turn back around now. Chris Hawkins trying to get a puck retrieval as this will be sent back down here. And alongside for the Voyagers and Luke Precision. And right back here to Grego. Safely gained the red line as he gets a shot on goal. And immediately takes his change. Some smart work there. Here's Josh Hill. He scores! Josh Hill got the game winner in Game 3, and now in Game 4 he draws first blood. It's 13-18. That was a smart play for Gregorich to throw it on and get the change. Josh Hill gets the retrieval and near the left side red line, and once he picks this up, he's in a good spot to shoot near the left dot. He just roofs it past Lay. So Waterford with the first goal. It's Josh Hill. Here's Hunter Keppel. And off the drop. This one is taken away a couple times. And Kieran Carwell. Here is Polosha. So Polosha and Gregorich get the assists. As this is a turn back around now. Sharks get the intercept immediately now. They have the lead again. Joe Gibbs, wrister. This one saved by Lay. In the left side corner, about 12:45. That's right where we are, Eastern Standard Time. That's what we got left here in the first. Look, McCarthy, nice hand-eye out of the air. Gets the entry by himself off a 1-on-3 and slowly puts it around the end boards. Andrew Taylor now trying to get a retrieval near the right side red line. Voyagers trying to find a way to get the next goal as Waterford has got Polosha with them on the right side. If they can feed it over there, takes a big hit to make a play. Keppel stays on his feet. Opportunity now, Papandrea fans on the pass. Knew what he wanted to do. He got Justin McComas on the back skate with him. McComas just trying to cover that middle. Diving shot block there. Good work for Justin. Opportunity now for the Sharks. Here's Theo Goody, the assistant captaincy. Justin McComas off a couple of stick blades. Denied entry into the zone. Papandrea now waiting for everybody else to get on side. He'll just take his change. And Goody and Papandrea will go ahead and get some new reinforcements here for Matt Berger's squad. Josh Hill has the first one of the game as this is taken away by Jake Prober for a moment. And now has to get some reinforcements here for Siegel. Flip it out of the zone, but it's not out. Opportunity off the stick chop. Good knockaway here for the Sharks as that was Zach Molkowski. Has to turn Ryan Gamber around. Molkowski finishes his hit. Try to stay on his feet as one of the Voyagers is down in the corner. That's going to blow the play dead. Hopefully they're okay down there. It does not look good. I think it was a little inadvertent contact then alongside Molkowski. And now McComas making sure he's got his stick and everything else as he can pop back up. I'm going to try to get a number on it when we see it. More incidental than anything else is what I'm hopeful for. Voyagers look okay down there. And that was Nathan Albrecht who's going to be able to pop up to his feet. Looked a little bit shaken up on the play. So hopefully Nathan's going to be all right. There'll be an opportunity now for Hill. And off the drop. Here's Siegel. This one is saved by Lay and off the glove hand. Sharks still with it now is Josh Hill. Now pin alongside Alex Gregorich. Muskegon trying to break out of their own zone right now. Opportunity off the long flip. Siegel trying to keep this on the outside. Good save, Elijah Gibbons. Step up near the left post. This is picked up near the right side boards. Couple of bounces here. Spencer Bowman. Here's a flip and off. It just gets it out of the zone. And Muskegon was delayed offside, so they got to check back up. We're almost halfway through the first. Josh Hill got the only goal of the game, and he's got the puck now. Hill, wrister. This is saved by Lay. Gave up the rebound, but Riley Picture there to settle it back down. And alongside for Ryan Gamber. There was almost a massive collision between a couple Sharks. Here's a cross pass, diving shot block, and a return the other way. Good defense there for Groth. Groth now will take the lawn flip near the right side boards. Settle it back down now for Joe DeWitt. Keppel hunts the puck, but the Sharks are off. Belisha knew he was close, and he had Kieran Carlisle with them off the steal, the 61-16 inverse. But we'll do this again in the neutral zone. John Eder with you alongside the Goal Live sportscaster Frank and Kelly. We are hoping for something good here for the Sharks. If not, we will end up to a Game 5 in Muskegon. This has been a series that's all been decided by one goal. Again, 3-2 was the latest win Josh Hill had in the second. It answered 4-3 and 6-5, where the Waterford won the first game and lost the second game. They still won on the road, and Muskegon now trying to look to do the same. Here is Gibbs. He'll throw this one in off the glass, and Lay will slowly put this in behind the inboards. It was a good Sharks forecheck. Had to have them deal with a little bit of pressure here. And an opportunity for Belvich. Try to go ahead and get this puck. He gets dispossessed. And the Sharks will take the outlet pass. Cole Helgamo stays on side. This is Groth. One more feed. Kieran Carlisle now picks it up in between escape lights. Set it up for Groth. Shot gets blocked. And sent toward it. Not bit one of the Voyagers. This play is still live. Here's a sauce pass right in the middle of the slot. Sharks now have it in the high slot off the deflection. And Lay will save the knuckle puck. Got to tell you, if maybe one or one and a half of those passes connected, Sharks probably have a 2-0 lead with some dangerous opportunities. So Sharks going to get some signals in the bench and alongside Matt Berger's squad. And we will get a chance to do this again. Offensive zone near the right circle off the drop. Puck retrieval here, Zach Mulkowski as he gets pinned against the boards. This will be flipped. They'll stay in play now for Cole Helgamo off the retrieval. Rattle around the embankment here. Theo Goody off the pinch. Papandrea quickly send a feed across. Put it to the net. Here is a potential break. Papandrea to really turn it on the bird who scores! Luke McCarthy! We are tied! Thought Papandrea for a second might have had the speed to get back. But Luke McCarthy makes no mistake. He deposits the check and makes it 1-1 as a long shot from the high slot beat Elijah Gibbons clean. So on the breakaway, Luke McCarthy scores at 8:54, and we're level again. Opportunity now, Prober sends this one in. Prober now trying to get into the right side, and we'll flip this in and around the inboards. So Andrew Taylor going to go ahead and get an assist, and alongside that goal, as this one gets flipped back down in Muskegon's end. 8:20 left to go in this first. It is Andrew Taylor. He got the assist from Luke McCarthy's primary. And this will be settled back around the inboards. Here for Nathan Albrecht, who's on his back check. Sharks trying to get this one all in one motion. Here's Hill. And near the right side dot and off the drop. And that goes wide to the left post. Nobody there to connect. It's getting really physical down there as Luke McCarthy got bomb blasted. Now race the other way off the spin. It's Gibbs. And the Sharks will head to a power play. 7:50 left to go. Once Muskegon touches, they'll do so now. So a power play opportunity upcoming for the Sharks. Most notably, as we return back home at Lakeland in the Red Rink. It's the first power play for the Sharks since really game 2. So we have not had one yesterday. It was just 2 power play advantages for Muskegon. They did not score in either. And now we'll see if the Sharks can return the favor and find a way to score on the man advantage. Kieran Carlisle can't win the draw as this one gets contested. Sharks will just keep this in the zone alongside for Gibbs. Taylor gets busted for a hook as Polosha trying to provide the screen out in front. If Muskegon can find any way to slow down number 61, that would do them a service as far as trying to win this whole thing. We just haven't been able to stop 61 or 16, Kieran Carlisle. Carlisle now from Gibbs. Gibbs wanted it back as this goes near the right side bumper. Gibbs will get it in the high slot as he gets knocked down to Carlisle. Now into the right side bumper. Carlisle off the lift. This one bounces up into the air. Gibbs does not press as this goes back down the ice. Elijah Gibbons will slow this one down amongst the goal crease. Got about 1:15 left to go and the man advantage here for the Sharks. Joe Gibbs. Now look to get the troops organized as it's Nick Papandrea. Papandrea off the sauce, takes a hit to make a play as this one shoveled ahead. Christian Montgomery gets bumped in off the puck. Spin and turn around for Kieran Carlisle. What a setup out in front of, what a stop by Lay. That was a denied one-timer. That was hellacious as this goes near the right side. Drop here for Papandrea, wrister. That one will hit the glass. Rebound opportunity right in front of the net. And Lay will be able to get a hold in a full sprawl. Very good stop there for Lay about 15 seconds ago. Denied a slap shot right in the middle of the slot and kept this game tied at 1. A little bit of the Jaws music here for the Waterford Sharks. Always like when they do that on the power play. They know what's needed right now. Josh Hill try to get this one settled back down along for Gregorich as this is captain at the point. Opportunity now, Cole Hagemo as the Sharks have their extra forward. Usually 4 forwards, 1D. Sometimes that does change. Gregorich now in off the flip. Papandrea was pinched in tight. Cole Hagemo going to play the defensive duties as he keeps this one in across the point. Here's a slow pass here for Groth. Rister, traffic on in front as that one was Gregorich providing the screen saved by Lay and not held in, I believe. Here's a battle for it right now. Muskegon does finally get it out. As it's down to 5 seconds, this will go into the players' bench. As far as the power play, 5:54 left to go in the first frame. It's another good game we have so far. Stop me if you've heard that before, because that's all it's been in between these two in the postseason. Papandrea now looked like he might have lost an edge. He receives the puck. Gregorich in off the deflection, and the Voyagers kill the penalty. Sharks had a couple really good opportunities. It was not a bad power play. They just didn't convert. Gregorich now on his back skate as Muskegon trying to break out from the right side red line. And a pass does not connect, allows Gregorich to get some inside positioning. Luke McCarthy take a little hard in around the inboards here as the Sharks do force a steal for a moment. Now Papandrea got to get back on his back skate. Josh Hill gets knocked down to make a play. It is Andrew Polosha. He tries to drag in between 4 players. It goes right into the funnel of Muskegon. Sharks busted in the middle of a change as this is on the backhand now, right into the glove hand of Elijah Gibbons. Chris Hawkins just threw it on net. We're getting close to the final 5 of the first frame. Again, we see the score bug, so I won't have to give you as many clock call-outs as we did yesterday, but as it is, sometimes you get used to the routine. Luke McCarthy, who's got the latest, tries to win this one between his legs. It will give Muskegon possession near the left side red line where they have it now. Try to loop in off the drop pass. This bounces off Polosha. Hunter Keppel now will turn around to pick it up. Number 23 with the puck. Keppel's been excellent, and the returner from Lakeland. Polosha, somebody blows a tire. That was DeWitt. Polosha now tries to stick drag his way to the left side dot. He gets denied. As there will be some bodies that come together here. Papandrea got his camera shot as he's waiting near the left side point. The puck is not pried loose yet. This will fall back to Papandrea. He'll shovel this quickly into the corner. And off the spin and turn, some body positioning for the Muskegon Voyagers as it's stolen by the Sharks. Put this in around the inboards here for number 61. That's Polosha. Polosha now. Try to flip this one back around for Papandrea. Holds it in. Nice stutter step at the line. Just keeps the puck in as he has to take a hit from Luke McCarthy off the brace. It's Polosha. Good pad save for Lay. And this one expertly kissed off the glass and down. Theo Goody. Not a Nick Papandrea. This pass was a little bit dangerous as Isaiah Humpner was the one providing the forecheck. And pinned back in now for Joe DeFay. Muskegon now looking to play with the puck here as they'll gain the entry across the red line. Huffner did score a pretty nasty goal in the third. This is centered across the goal mouth. This is spun all around the Sharks now. Theo Goody trying to find a good step up here for Muskegon, but they can't hold the blue line. And now McComas here for Molkowski right in the glove hand of Lay. He wanted to play it, but the whistle was heard first. So 1-1 is our score line still in the mix of McCarthy and Josh Hill. This is just kept in by Jake Prober, the Highland, Michigan native, as he spins this in around the inboards. Opportunity to pick up the puck for Nolan LeClaire. Sharks do steal near the right side dot. It's a rolling puck, just the McComas had it for a moment. Siegel now spins it around the inboards. McComas trying to get some inside-out positioning as Nathan Albrecht now go ahead and make this pass across. Voyagers have the entry. There aren't any passes to be had as McComas. That was a sweet little feed. It's going to get Molkowski with some speedy toe drag. Stays with the puck on his backhand. He couldn't get full power on it as this gets shoveled in behind the net. And a rebound opportunity goes just wide. McComas as this is bounced in. Nice keep in by Joseph Gibbs. Take this one now for Helgamo. Spin and turn. This inadvertently hits some bodies off of Kevin Belvich. And now rattled back down. Opportunity to get a puck pick up here for Nolan LeClaire. Be sent back down the ice, and the Sharks will win the hybrid icing race. Gibbs will beat it. So a little matinee hockey that we have for you. Again, it was about a 2:30 start last week into Muskegon. It is a 12:30 start here today. So a little bit more time to spend with your day, hopefully in a happy mood if you're a Sharks fan. If you're Muskegon, the only way you'd be happy is getting another victory here and forcing a Game 5. This hit'll back around off the one-timer. That was a good save for Lays with a couple pretty big ones. That was near the right side dot. Gibbs able to keep that in for a moment. Josh Hill now trying to survey here for this puck. Here's spin now for Zach Grover. He gets taken down. And now Gregorich with the stick chop ahead for number 71 and Bowman. As this is near the left side boards. Players will come together here as we're trying to figure out where the vulcanized rubber is going to go to. Spun back around the end boards now for Muskegon, and they'll take a sauce pass out of the air. Sharks will intercept right into the neutral zone off the step up, try to crowd that line as much as possible and stop plays before they even get started. Here's off the sauce now, trying to find Josh Hill as that one was picked off in between the legs of Spencer Bowman. And now a good set up there, Belvich off the lead for Luke McCarthy. McCarthy now, as Belvich gets cleaned up in front of the net, that will allow the Sharks to go ahead and settle it back down here for Joe Gibbs off the outstretched pass. And Waterford has once again iced the puck. They cannot change. If Drowning Pool doesn't get you pumped up, nothing else will. That's what I say. 1:19 left to go in the first. It's a 1-1 game. Luke McCarthy has scored the only goal for Muskegon. Josh Hill for the Sharks. This is Game 4 in the best of 5. Sharks have a 2-1 series lead. At worst, they've guaranteed themselves a Game 5, but they want to try to get it done on home ice and stop the travel. Now sent back around near the right side dot. Spencer Bowman now on the prowl. Groth will get this one down the ice as he again takes a hit. Again for Groth, he's had to deal with a little bit of a jaw, some concussion. He is playing injured, I bet, still. But Groth wants to give all the energy he has left to the boys and try to end up winning this thing today. Number 29 is a hard-nosed physical player that loves to bomb slap shots. When I got a chance to talk with him and Justin McComas last week at the hotel side, it was a lot of fun to be able to share a laugh as far as those slap shots. Sent back around the end boards now for the Sharks. Gregorich help to try to get this one out as this will hit the glass and flip back in now for Elijah Gibbons to slow it back down for Joe Gibbs as we're underneath a minute of the first frame. Good outstretched pass for Andrew Polosha, and off the hunt it's Hunter Keppel now trying to find it. Polosha off the spin and turn, and this is an opportunity here for Chris Hawkins. The other 23 putting this the other way bounces off of Papandrea's glove, and Isaiah Huffner will slow things down again for Muskegon. Don't want to give anything up in the final minute. That's always a no-no, as this one is knocked away. Here's a chance rattled off the inboards. Good step up by Theo Goody. He'll just gain the red line and throw it in. It's got about 20 seconds left to go here in the first in this 1-1 game. Is it going to be a 2-2 swing, or are the Sharks going to win this one today? That's what we'll find out. Huffner will make the smart play. He'll take a long shot, force the draw with 13 seconds left. So dare I say this first period once again is pretty darn even. That is much better for the Sharks on home ice than it was on the road when they were down 4-0 collectively in 2 games, 2-0 consequentially in each period. Look, McCarthy as this goes toward the right side boards. Sharks as this gets loose out in front. Here's a wrister. This one stopped by Givens off the stick play. Tried a backhand shovel off the side of the net, and that is going to end the first. It is a 1-1 game. This is game 4 of the MIHL Finals. We still need 40 more minutes to decide, if anything, the Waterford Sharks win today or if Muskegon forces a game 5. They come back, we'll call more. It's a 1-1 game after 1. Stay tuned. All right, everybody, before we get into the second period, let me do some particular housekeeping here. So golf with the Waterford Sharks Saturday, June 14, 2025 at the links at Crystal Lake Golf Course. It's the third annual golf outing, again Saturday, June 24, 2025 in Pontiac. 8 a.m. warm-up, 9 a.m. tee-off, 500 for a foursome. Registration and fees are due June 1st, 2025. You can contact Mama Shark, Lauren Gregorich, 248-807-2162 or lgregorich.wfsharks@gmail.com. Whole sponsorships, you can contact our general manager, Nick Parrott, 248-877-0703, courtesy of the Sharks and MIHL. As far as the Game 4 reset of the first period, I should say. This game is tied at 1-1. Josh Hill opens the scoring right at 13-18. That's a good puck retrieval from the Gregorich line, and Hill pots the wrister from the left dot. Luke McCarthy breaking a wrister from deep beats Elijah Gibbons. Devon Lay makes sure the Sharks don't add more. Of note, power plays yesterday were just 0 for 2 for Muskegon. In today's game so far, Waterford is 0 for 1. So power play tallies have not really been a thing. Chances have not really been a thing. As we get a camera shot of Matt Berger, who's got the multicolored tie-dye sweater. They're a little bit of a white and blue. Looks like he's doing some painting. And he has been the savant as far as the Sharks coach and staff trying to mastermind his picture of what looks to be a Sharks championship as I try to put that segue all the way across. How did I do? I don't know. I'm tired. But as we go across, 1:17 left to go in the East. And this is going to be fun here. 20 more minutes in this second period, and we'll have 20 more minutes at least after that to decide whether or not we need more time. What's at stake in this best of 5? The Sharks are up 2-1. The score is 1-1 now, but if the Sharks win today, this series is done. They'll be Bill Long Memorial Cup champs for a second consecutive season. Waterford Sharks, before last year, were three-peat champions until the Waterford Sharks knocked them off and got their first in franchise history. They're going to try to do so again. And for the Muskegon Voyagers, if they win, will force a Game 5 on Saturday. That might be around, again, game time is TBD, but I would have to think about 6:30, 7 o'clock. I don't think we'll do anything more late than that because you have to go back and forth from Muskegon on that side. I don't think you're going to be doing the hotel stay on the one-day side. So we'll have to figure it out if we get there. If we do, we'll put that in the plans because we're not going to miss Game 5. But that's what's at stake for both teams. As we get settled here for puck drop, you got Spencer Bowman on the outstretched line. So line numero dos will get set to get things going here, as this will go all the way back down to Elijah Gibbons. Groff braces for the contact as Hill end up trying to get this out of the zone. Sharks pass goes right to Riley Pitcher. This is a good opportunity here for the Voyagers to score right away as this one was saved by Gibbons. Knocked with a stick shaft. Rebound opportunity. There's a couple of them toward the blue paint. Sharks able to funnel it out. That was awfully dangerous. Now a long flip. Bowman looking the other way, but Hill's going to let it fly. He's already had about 5 shots on goal here. And we're just getting underway in the second frame at 19:30. So we'll see what the Sharks want to do as far as changes. It's only been about 30 seconds, but it looks like maybe they're going to go ahead and take the Groth and Gibbs line of the defensive side and get some reinforcements. Forwards still seem the same in the mix of Polosha now and Carlisle. Those are your heavy hitters. They go back to line 1. Now to the left side, this one goes off the outside of the post. Picked up now by Kieran Carlisle as he'll shovel a blind backhand to the right side red line. Opportunity here. And brace for some contact near the boards. Goody tried to push this one ahead. Sharks still with it. It's Andrew Polosha from the severe angle now with Kieran Carlisle. Crisscross. Send this one to the net and be solved by Lay. So in alongside the Go Live Sportscast, my name is John Ott. You're on site here for Lakeland Ice Arena for Game 4 of the MIHL Final. Sharks have a 2-1 series lead. It's a 1-1 game in the mix of Josh Hill and Luke McCarthy. Glad you could join us for this matinee day game, wherever you're taking it in. Hunter Keppel now tried to win this one between his legs. Here's a good steal here for the Sharks at the blue line, and now push the other way here for Nolan LeClaire. Now a long wrister scores! It's Jeremy Joyce. He wasn't able to draw into the game yesterday. He did so now. That is one of Muskegon's heavy hitters, and that did not take long. 18:55. So Jeremy Joyce just lets it fly toward the top left corner at 18:55. So Muskegon takes a 2-1 lead. And now Jeremy Joyce, and up has the latest one. As this is flipped back down the ice. We settle back around the end boards here, and now Cole Helgamo, as the Sharks have to try to find a way to play from behind. That's what Muskegon's had to do pretty much all the time yesterday. This looks like this may go to a Game 5. That's what Scott Brand said to me into the second period. I was wondering if he knew something that I did. And I know the Sharks don't want to see it that way. As this is sent the other way for Milkowski. There is a loose lid on the ice. And I was surprised the play was not blown dead sooner, but they must have got the player off the ice to let it happen for about another 10 seconds. So I know I have one of the assists in Ryan Gamber. I did not get the other. I'll have to go through the MIHL Hockey Shift website and kind of pick up a couple of those other pieces that I miss on the score sheet, but that's what the replays are for. So Josh Hill going to go ahead and take this one against Andrew Taylor. So Taylor ended up drawing in the lineup here for Game 4, could not make the trail for Game 3, and immediately pots a goal that gives the Muskegon Voyagers the lead. And here's a pass now for Groth. Now on toward the left side boards. Pick up for Gibbs. On his backhand, Gibbs will use the shovel. It's not out. Muskegon trying to force the steal. Joe Gibbs very short-handed, but his pass a little bit too far for Spencer Bowman. As DeFay will spin in his own end. Bowman throws out a little bit of a hip check. And the Sharks now on the back skate. Josh Hill looking to provide some duties as Bowman finishes off his hit against the boards. And now Muskegon will take the flip into the zone. Joe Gibbs now trying to get a rolling vulcanized rubber. Take this one D to D. And we'll see what the Sharks can do from left to right. Again, they are in the home black jerseys, the mix of the orange and white striping. Muskegon Voyagers in the road whites with the teal. Joe DeFay, long wrister. This one solved by Gibbons into the left side dot. About 17 minutes left to go on the second. Again, the latest goal, Andrew Taylor has just given the Voyagers the lead. Riley Picture. He will brace away from a hit. Good work there for Riley. He's got a ton of speed. As this one now sent in toward the right side boards. A flip back down by Chris Hawkins. This is contested at the blue line side. Hawkins have to try again. He just wanted to go ahead and make a change, as Zach Dance's squad will do the same. This will be a puck that'll be touched back down. Look, Precision will get a chance to get to it. This will be knocked away. Papandrea now try to center this out in front, but Muskegon's right there. The Sharks do get the steal, however. Settle back now for Keppel against the glass. Funneled right in the middle of the slot, right at the point. Sharks take the pass across, one-timer. That one gets fanned out by Kieran Carlisle. He just missed the spot he was aiming at toward the left side post. An opportunity here for Luke McCarthy. That was all in one feed. Sent the pass across, and a good diving back check there for the Sharks and Keppel. The one-timer, this one hits the glass. Settle back around now for Joe DeWitt. DeWitt now for Christian Montgomery. Also a new added in this game in comparison to Game 3. So Andrew Taylor and Christian Montgomery trying to both find their way on the score sheet. Taylor has just given his team the lead. Papandrea turns it over, and now Gibbons able to make the right pad save. About 14:35 left to go on the second. Running with you on the call alongside the Goal Live Sportscast. Settle back down now for Goody off the touch pass. At the start again now is Hunter Keppel. Hunter Keppel will get some positioning as he moves in around the end boards here. DeWitt now will brace for some contact behind the Sharks bench. This is picked up by Goody. Walks in. This one will get deflected before it ever hit Lay. And settle back down off the long outstretched pass. That's the one thing you got to be mindful of if you are the Sharks. I mentioned that a lot during the broadcast, especially to the second and third. If you see Muskegon start to cheat for offense, if you're the Sharks, you better be back there on the defensive end looking for those breakout passes, because that's when they're at their best. hunting pucks just like that. Rooster save Gibbons, and we will get a whistle as the Voyagers crowd is starting to get to their feet. They're liking what they're seeing and bringing the energy. This has been a second period that's been in complete control here for Muskegon. Waterford is going to have to turn that momentum quickly as Elijah Gibbons will get a little bit of a Gatorade break. He's going to need it. Jeremy Joyce going to go ahead and take this draw. This one off the tie-up. It is picked up for the Sharks for a moment, but it's recontested here for Nolan LeClaire. Sent toward the net. Elijah Gibbons makes one save, and off the backhand. This is Muskegon off the touch. Here's the slapper. It gets deflected. That one goes wide. Picked up at the point now. Muskegon doing some excellent work with the puck possession. And was the net knocked off its moorings, is my guess? 14:32 as the Voyagers fans now start to boo. I won't pick up on everything that they're doing here, but just note that the last about 6 minutes or so is that indeed was the problem. It has been all Muskegon in that end. When their season is on the line, so you would expect to find that extra sixth gear. It's been elusive for these teams at times, but right now they look to be locked in, and every bit as the champion that we've seen them from before. But momentum is a fickle thing, and one play can completely change the game. If the Sharks can find a way to just get through the adversity and start to push the other way, then they'll be right where they are and they'll like it. Max Campbell. Now, he'll get a shift. Wow, he gets upended. A little wrestling move for Campbell as he gets taken out on top, and now Campbell doesn't like it. He's getting some cross checks in behind the back. Campbell's got to be careful he doesn't try to do too much, but Campbell got some air. And that was the first shift I've seen number 8 taken. Immediately he gets flustered and gets thrown the body against him. I think we're going to get a good camera shot here as Campbell tried to work his way. And a good old-fashioned hip check, ended up getting some air. That is pretty clean as far as Muskegon is concerned. I know that Campbell doesn't like it. And a little bit of the rough stuff for Nathan Albrecht, because he got probably the worst of it after Campbell got in the air. So we'll talk about it. I'm going to make sure I mark this in my notes. My guess would be Max Campbell is going to get the extracurricular for the cross checks to the back of Nathan Albrecht. If we're going to call it by the book, Groth and McCarthy are exchanging some words. Groth, I know, will be no stranger to the physical stuff. He just wants to make sure that everything else stays clean because he's still learned some stuff, as we said. As now he's getting some camera shots and with the Zebras and having a little bit of a laugh. They got 3 Comfads and alongside for Tyler Groth. We'll get a neutral zone draw, and it looks like offsetting penalties is the call. So we'll flip this one back down. So Max Campbell, Nathan Albrecht, they'll take them both. I think if you're the Shark, that's probably a little bit fortunate. So about 14:05 now left to go in the second. Here's a pass right in between the legs that's beautifully connected. And now Isaiah Humphrey will race near the right side. Humphrey still with it on his forehand. He'll send this back here for Luke McCarthy. Here's a touch right out of the air, precision. It was Raleigh Picture providing the screen out in front, so the offensive defenseman trying to do it all here in this 4-on-4 setting. Sharks usually have an advantage here with extra space on the ice. Groth, good feed. Gibbs, one more. Try to give it back to Gibbs a little bit too much as that was broken up. But I like the idea. Just got to get the shot a little bit closer as precision. This one in off the glass. Slowed back down now by Gibbs. Gibbs at the point, surveying. Sends it now to the left side. Sharks walk in, shoot this one, hits the glass. Bounce back in, try to be kept in off the outstretch of Gibbs. He'll do so. Shovel this in the corner. Sharks still have possession as they'll pick this one up near the right side. Here's Nick Papandrea. Papandrea now will work his way to the blue line side. Gibbs lets it go through the screen. Big rebound, and Lay's got it. 13:09 left to go in the second. So if you give an opportunity for Gibbs and Papandrea to make some plays at the D-line side, you're asking for trouble. Again, Riley Pitcher was able to do that all by himself on the other end and then still provide the screens to the defensemen, showcasing they can be the biggest leaders on their team scoring goals. That's no surprise in between these two, but it's something to call out. Settle back down off the long stretch. Christian Montgomery will get this one ahead. Picked up now off the back skate. This will be recollected here for the Sharks. Nice move just to get away from some of the pressure. Find the entry, about 30 more seconds of offsetting 4-on-4 as Polsha will end up bracing against the board. Sharks will hunt the puck as we lose our sight lines in the right side. A little bit of a lunge there for the Sharks. An extra effort for Kieran Carlisle. No surprise, he finishes off 3 hits. Goody now at the point. There's a big rebound. It's available, but Muskegon able to clean it up. They throw it right to the Sharks, however. Papandrea had to inside out himself just to pick this one back around the end boards. Kieran Carlisle now will try to give chase again. He's been a battering ram in this current shift. It is now Polsha and Carlisle trying to dig this puck out now, and behind the cage of Lay, Muskegon will emerge with it right now. Opportunity for Nolan LeClaire. Got a lot of sauce on that pass. It's picked back up now and across the roof for Nolan LeClaire. He wanted to find the entry. He got a little too much air underneath it. .12:03 is what's left of the second. We're almost halfway through this one in totality. It's been good crowds on hand for both. Muskegon does indeed travel well. There's been a lot of Sharks here trying to see another championship here for a second straight year, but the Sharks have a lot of work to do. They're only down 1 though, but they got to get this one tied first. Here's a wrister saved by Gibbons. I don't think he knew where it was. It just bounced right off of him. Now race for it the other way for Spencer Bowman. That'll negate the icing, says the Zebras, and we'll press on. Here's a pass that'll go right through the outside and pick back up now for Siegel. Siegel one more time for Jake Prober. Give it off the right back. Jared right back to Jake. Jake now try to gain this red line and throw it in, as that one was deflected. Nathan Albrecht now will watch as the last man back. And this goes through Siegel. And now a race for Chris Hawkins. Elijah Gibbons will meet it first as the Sharks get the steal. Gregorich end up setting it up for Hill nicely. Hill's got to do a little bit of extracurricular just to get this puck to be sent back down. Muskegon now a little bit of a jailbreak. They'll just be on the edge of the shift, take a change. Nonetheless, Gregorich now will recollect off the backhand and send this one down the ice. Josh Hill gets to it first. Hill looks for a severe angle chance. That'll go right to Isaiah Hoffner. Might just give Muskegon some possession as this gets contested. Good spin there for Hoffner, number 44, with his dancing shoes on. Works his way to the right side. Dot now behind the net. Here's a seam pass on the backhand. Gibbons was down. They could not get a shot off, and if they did, Muskegon might have took a 2-goal lead. Joe DeFay will get the hybrid ice. So Sharks playing with fire here a little bit, but they were able to keep close enough to the post and to the vest to make sure Muskegon didn't get any chances. Otherwise, they would have taken a 2-goal lead. It's not tense times just yet, I would say, but you're starting to think where the pushback is for the Sharks is they're fighting it here in this second period. But if they can keep the scoreline where it is, that could give them enough energy for the third. But you got to be able to keep it close enough, because you give Muskegon a 2 or 3 goal lead, this could be completely different. That's just from what we've seen in this series. That is enough to give much of a pendulum swing, and we'll see if that's the case. So Groth back there on the defensive line. Max Campbell is as well, starting to get some more shifts in this second period. I think as Berger is searching for some energy from the squad. And I don't blame him at this point, as it's 10:05 left to go officially in the second. Spun now here for Gibbs. Raleigh Picture not leaving him alone. That is a heck of an outstretched pass for Gibbs. It's Volkowski off the touch, give and go. That would have been a ridiculous goal, but it was just off the back post, and Gibbs had that up from 200 feet. Here's Hoffner off the wrister. Riley Picture now tries to get this puck as the Sharks will steal. Little inside-out move, a good keep in at the line for Andrew Taylor, and this one will hit the glass. Now spin and turn for Christian Montgomery. Montgomery now, touch for Luke McCarthy. Shovel this one just wide. Into the right side corner, bounces off of Muskegon. Will give Waterford some possession. They will take the long flip. Bounces off some inadvertent bodies, and Tristan McComas is gassed. He needs a change. Mikowski line will take one as well. Outstretch here. Don't want to get caught, as that was off the step up. Trying to look for Nolan LeClaire off a backdoor feed. And the Sharks now have entry. Here's Papandrea. Nice backhand off the outside of the post for Papandrea. As this will be recollected here, Carlisle through the traffic. Kieran tried to be the first to get to it off a diving play. One of the Sharks keeps it in. That was Theo Goody. Hunter Keppel now. And near the right side boards. As this is low side in front, this is a pickup here for Muskegon. They'll take a flip of Pandrea now. Turning on the burners as it's Elijah Gibbons. He needed to make that save as Ryan Gamber was hunting in the middle of the slot. So this will be a D-zone draw here for Waterford. We're about 8:39 officially left to go in the second. Kieran Carlisle will take it. This one is won by Muskegon. Here's the clapper. This one bounces out in front. Sharks will see if they have any energy here. Hunter Keppel will be the cross pass recipient. Rebound. Keppel not able to get to it off of the second effort as Lay made a few pretty good saves there. He's been pretty good all day. Settle back down now for Muskegon off the outstretch. It's a good connection. And alongside Jeremy Joyce and Elijah Gibbons slid all the way over if it was needed. He'll pop back up as the Sharks race the other way. Hunter Keppel by himself. Wrister, glove save, Lay. 8:04. Zach Dances and Matt Berger's squad will take their changes. Again, the only goal of this period, courtesy of Andrew Taylor, or Jeremy Joyce, excuse me, number 13. Again, I know I mentioned that right the first time. Shot goes in from the point as this will be settled back down. Siegel will get the steal. But Taylor's got the go-ahead goal right now as we're more than halfway through this second period. Here's a big slapper. Siegel bounces off some body. Sharks will get it. Prober try to throw it at the net. And good back check here for Muskegon. Try to brace for the puck. Sharks will keep it though. Sending it around the inboards. Riley Picture now on the prowl. On the back check now, Riley Picture will use the long flip. Takes a hit to make a play. He's always so smooth with the puck. Sharks like to break out from right to left for the rest of this period. A little bit too far for Gregorich. He'll check back up on side as Spencer Bowman now try to get a retrieval. He's not giving up on the play right now. We send back down for Zach Grover. And we'll do the same thing here for Groff. So Muskegon will take their change. Here's Tyler. Gain the entry and around the inboards. Luke Recision, number 55, has got some work to do. As this rolls in behind the net, Groff now will hold the right side point as it spins back around for Hill. Sharks, now Zach Molkowski. High side point, this is a double deflection. And Lay had some trouble with it for a moment, but he does make the save. And the hybrid icing will be beat out. Cole Halgamo wins the race. So I know we got the camera shot in the feed and the scoreboard gets bounced in and out, but 6:40 is what we got officially. That one you're going to be able to see that clearly. Another O-zone draw here for the Sharks. This toward the left circle. You got the Andrew Polosha line there with Kieran Carlisle, the 16-61 inverse. It's always so dangerous. This will be near the right side boards. Kieran Carlisle on his backhand. Shovel this around for Andrew. He tries to lift it in tight. And this one will get deflected. A little leap there for Groth. They can't find it as this one goes back down the inboards. And Gibbs will get there first. Muskegon doesn't like the icing side of it, but I don't think they're going to win that argument. So we'll get settled here for another ozone draw. Now, in Game 1, when we were at Lakeshore Sports Center, the Sharks had about 4 or 5 of those in a row and then ended up scoring as Polosha got the game winner from about 5:35, and even between those 6 minutes, those when the game winners were scored. You get those consecutive zone draws, it's about tiring out the other team and getting shots. Right now, we're not seeing that against Muskegon. This has been a masterful second period for them, but the scoreline is still within 1. Isaiah Huffner, and off the steal. On his backhand now, Huffner will windmill around the defense, try to bounce this off of Elijah Gibbons. Did he bounce that one in? I think he bounced it off Gibbons' backside, and Isaiah Huffner, little happy birthday, makes it 3-1, and that is not good for the Sharks, but credit Huffner in making the play as he wins the race off the backhand, and he indeed banks it off of Gibbons right at 6 minutes. So Isaiah Huffner got the goal yesterday that made it a 1-goal game, and now he's giving his team a 2-goal lead. That's an unassisted bank, and off of Elijah Gibbons. And it is Sunday. They say it's closed, but not today. 1:42 Eastern Standard Time, 5:48 left to go in this second. The Muskegon Voyagers have taken a 2-goal lead. Will it hold? Well, if it continues the way that this second period has, is Max Campbell taking a draw. It was loose out in front, and the Sharks do not get it out. But here's a chance Gibbons makes the save. Huffner now off the one-timer. This is traffic on in front, and Gibbons never saw it. And Waterford just trying to get out of their own end and create some sustainability because it hasn't been here in the second frame. Here's a touch. Max Campbell on the backhand. That one goes wide. Number 8's getting a lot of shifts off that extra forward side, so we'll see where they're taken out on the other side for Matt Berger. Not that I'm saying it's the wrong move. We're just trying to find the energy, get the ignite spark. Theo Goody, and off the end boards, one of the Sharks goes down, and this is knocked away, bounces off a bunch of bodies. Goody's pass is a good one here for Papandrea. Spin and turn, but again, Muskegon's right there. They clean up the mess in front of Lay. Flip this one down the ice. They're not even going to care that they ice it. I wouldn't either. 4:56 left to go. So Jeremy Joyce and Isaiah Huffner. It's all the usual suspects for both of these teams. Again, that's what you would expect in the finals, but the secondary goal scoring really hasn't been there for either one of these teams. That could go a long way to make the change in this series, but we are at the point where I can officially say it now. The Sharks do need the next goal. As this is now picked up here for Luke McCarthy. Off the long outstretch, this one hits the bumper. Humfer now. Recollecting off the glass, it's a good back pass, and this will go wide and off the end board. Sharks just trying to make sure that they're only down 2 at worst in this period. They're going to need a heck of a lot more jump in the third because they've kind of got their lunch taken away from them and their money stolen. Settle back now for Nathan Albrecht as Elijah Gibbons will slow this in amongst the end boards. And this gets a dispossess. Here's Muskegon. They wanted to get some chances going here alongside for Jeremy Joyce, but they didn't see the pass open, and it was. Picked up now off the back skate. Gregorich, nice move! And he tries to tuck this one, and I don't think he said he got hooked in on the hands. That was his motion. I don't see anyone leaving the goal crease. And there's a step up there. Polosha couldn't find the puck. Now the other way off the drop from Joyce. Good spot to shoot from, and Gibbons makes a needed save against Nolan LeClaire. .350 left to go in this second frame. Alex Gregorich made a motion to the Zebras that he got hooked in on the hands of that previous sequence before LeClaire's shot was stopped by Gibbons. He did not get the call again. Waterford's only had 1 power play on home ice. Muskegon had 2 yesterday, so the refs making sure they only call anything unless it's absolutely egregious. Decision. That's sometimes what you get during playoff hockey. As Gibbs will get this in across the wall. Picked up now toward the right side boards. This is wide of Lay. Groff He'll take the signature slapper, but this time it's just an end around. A little bit too far for Keppel, but Groth is there. He will safely secure this one first and have to send this around the embankment here for Gibbs. And off the drop pass, I think he was looking for Groth behind him, but it's picked off by Picture. Sent out in front. It's a rolling puck. Sharks trying to get it out of their own end as we get a little bit of a score clock issue here as this is settled back down. I think they've reconnected in some other rink and taken it here, but we should be counting down from about 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Now in toward the wrister as this is settled back down. Now it's recollected about 2:35. Picked up now here for Nolan LeClaire, and this puck will leave the zone. Joe DeFay gets a chance to recollect for Nolan LeClaire. A little touch pass ahead for Zach Grover as he's pinned against the right side boards by Gibbs. Halgamo now. He was waiting off front, but the puck didn't get there. Muskegon still doing some busy work on the offensive end. Sharks try to get to a one-knee shot block. Cole Halgamo emerges with it now. Can he be a hero? Cole Halgamo. Big pad saved by Lay. Polosha now. This is too far for him. He just hasn't had the handle of the puck. And now a potential break. Gibbons end up making the save. It looked like Kevin Belvich was probably out of gas. He used everything he had to get that last shot off. As this gets settled back into the Sharks' end. Theo Goody now on his puck retrieval, but too far for Papandrea. Sharks have not been really shorthanded in this second period as much as they would like to be. Muskegon just seems to be cutting off their space, and they're going to need to talk about it in the intermission. Again, it's only 2, so there is a lot of work that can still be done. Isaiah Huffner, he will get the reverse hit, pop back up to his feet against Zach Molkowski. Chase this puck into the corner on his forehand. Good chance to shoot from high slot, and Albrecht gets denied by Elijah Gibbons. It'll be an ozone draw. Luke McCarthy going to get set to take it against Josh Hill. McCarthy's team wins it. It's Isaiah Huffner. Shovel this one in the corner now. McCarthy off the retrieval near the left side red line. Good traffic on in front of Gibbons. That's where the puck goes, but Elijah sees it. Be a face-off opportunity for Andrew Taylor. Albrecht off the screen, and this one goes to the right side boards. Picked up now for Jared Siegel. There's a minute left to go here. Sharks now down by 2. It was a 1-1 game after 1. So Muskegon's first period of play that they normally have dominated between games 1 and 2, this time they're taking the second. As that hit the Luke McCarthy, lays out Siegel, and then Muskegon bumps into themselves. It is Spencer Bowman in the backhand, sauce out of the air for Hill, but the lefty couldn't pick it up. Here's his spin and turn now as Bowman finishes his hit. One of the Sharks goes down inadvertently. That was Gregorich. Try to pop back up to his feet. McCarthy, this goes off the glove hand of Gibbons. It's loose and behind the net. Now trying to look for that bank again with about 15 seconds left to go. Now near the right side of the point. Here's a puck that gets tied up. Luke McCarthy holds it in, gives it right to the Sharks. I don't think they're going to have enough time to do anything. They're going to have to try to break out high, and that is not going to happen. So that ends the second. 2 goals to the good here for Muskegon, and they put themselves in the driver's seat to force a game 5. They got Jeremy Joyce and Isaiah Huffner with the goals. When we come back, we'll call the last set of 20. Sharks have some work to do if they want to lift the Bill Long Memorial Cup today. If not, we'll go to Muskegon on the Saturday side. Come right back. We'll call more. We'll get set for the third. All right, we're going to get settled here for the third period, and if things are going to change for the Waterford Sharks, they're going to have to do so quickly. We'll prop back up this Facebook post I just threw out there, but it's been 3 unanswered goals for the Muskegon Voyagers, 2 in that period. They've taken a 3-1 lead in this game. They still need to win this game to force a Game 5, but it was a big effort for them. Jeremy Joyce and Isaiah Humpner. Humpner's goal was off the bank of Elijah Gibbons. That was right at 6 minutes. He was able to windmill himself into the zone near the right side blue line, get around a couple of Sharks, and then bank it in off behind the net of Gibbons. They take a 3-1 lead. From what I noticed, the Sharks' passes did not connect, and the space was cut off. But it's going to have to be a dig-deep effort for Waterford. Again, I mentioned this in the post. Everyone's got the talent, but if the execution is found, this game can be decided in their favor. But it's really got to come down to more busy work. Get shots on net. Now try to be so hopeful for some of these deflections. If it's not there, and just try to funnel as much as you can at lay, because you only had 12 shots on goal in that second period. I don't think that's going to be enough, and we'll end up seeing what happens. Because if not, the Sharks will have to have a Game 5 date at Muskegon on Saturday. Again, that game time might be well adjusted, I believe, and from the initial release of MIHL, we'll be looking at around a 7 o'clock start, but do not take that as gospel. I will have that officially marked in the story alongside Hopeless Sports Guy, and make sure you stay tuned to the MIHL for official times, because that's all dependent on ice availability. And as it is right now, as we're looking at the Waterford Sharks coming out of the tunnel, and the same thing for the Muskegon Voyagers, I'm seeing the energy at a very high premium here for Muskegon as I'm looking at there. And for the Sharks, they've just got to find a way to get more activity to the net, because if they don't do that, then things will be completely changed. And that's exactly where we'll be, because if you give Muskegon a Game 5 on home ice, Sharks already did steal 1, but you'd be putting yourself in a dangerous situation, and you also might put yourself in the possibility where Jack Hudak plays Game 5. Not that Devon Lay hasn't played well in this one, I just don't think he's been worked enough in my opinion. But we will see if that changes. As it is, look at it just like yesterday. The Sharks had a 2-goal lead in the third period. Ultimately, they ended up making that one hold at 3-2. We're at 3-1 right now, so this almost is the mirror inverse from the Game 3, Game 4 side, but the Sharks are going to need at least a couple of more. And the Beastie Boys that they got now for Fight For Your Right, that's exactly what the Sharks have to do if they want to be able to lift this Bill Law Memorial Cup today. It is in the building, but it's going to stay in its case unless the Sharks find a way to at least get a couple more unanswered, because the Muskegon's got 3, they had 2 in that latest period. So here we go. Let's put up or shut up time right now for both Waterford, but especially now for Muskegon. They got to be able to finish it off. They've already put up their goals. This one deflected now by Gamber, gives it right to Humpner on a backhand. And if Muskegon scores here quickly, you might be able to put this one out to pasture. Sharks do have the firepower, offense and defense, to kind of change things, but they got to make it a little more structured. Got to get shots at the net. Devon Lay will leave us now as the Road Whites and the teal jerseys will go left to right. The Muskegon Voyagers need to win to force a Game 5, and they got a 2-goal lead. Humpner has got the latest. He finds the entry. And we'll see exactly. I'll be interested if Muskegon plays the same way as Waterford did yesterday. You nurse that 2-goal lead. You make the smart plays. You get the dump-ins when you need to and take the shots when you have them. Don't try to do much more than that. This one goes off the outside of the post and on play. And that is how you win games in the postseason. Again, when you have that lead, you don't need to really press as much. Okay.
I'm the guy watching. I've been sending you all those good things on.
I appreciate you.
I'm gonna buy you lunch.
As it goes to the right side. Settle back around now here for DeWitt. DeWitt now here for Keppel. As this is flipped back in around the inboards, Papandrea will slow this around. Here is Polsha. Now in toward the right side boards. Karen Carlisle now off the tie-up. As this goes into the right side, 18:35 left to go. Chance in the high slot. This one's picked off by Polsha, but he doesn't have a lot of reinforcements. Have to spin and turn now for Nolan LeClaire. as we make sure everybody checks up on sides here for Muskegon. That's what the refs were motioning. Polosha now trying to cheat for offense. Gets his position here to the left side. Dodd is going to need some help. This is kept on the outside and is saved by Lay with 18-19 left in the third. Be an ozone draw. Again, you can still cut this game into segments between 5-minute periods, and I would say in essence when we get toward the 10-minute mark halfway through the third, that's when the Sharks really need to find that first goal in this third period, alongside of if Voyagers don't score anymore. That's the other question mark. But you're going to have to go at least at that point and press a little more. Right now you can still run your offense, you got time, but as we get close to the 10-minute mark, you see probably an extra gear for the Sharks that they're going to need to find. This will be sticked away right at the neutral zone side, and Muskegon will retreat. Go ahead and play with the puck for a little bit for Nathan Albrecht, and alongside for Joe DeFay. DeFay now on his back skate. He gets the give from Albrecht, and now DeFay will survey, look over his options, and now race toward the left wing side is Muskegon. Little windmill to buy some space into the red line, and then send this one down for Zach Grover. Muskegon doesn't need to be in a hurry, and it doesn't look like they are right now, which is the smart way to do it for Zach Dance's squad. This will be sent in off Rescission, stopped by Gibbons. As it goes into the right side end boards, Rescission now off the retreat. As this one goes back down the ice, and Riley Pitcher will get there first, so the Sharks cannot change. Be an ozone draw here for Muskegon. This one's one now here for Siegel. Siegel now will brace for contact against Chris Hawkins as the Sharks look to break out of their own end from right to left. Outstretched pass. Trying to look for Spencer Bowman. Mikowski goes right to the bench, takes his change. Spencer was the only one still out there. All the Sharks take a change. Riley Pitcher, good move. He gets upended for a moment. He still gets his own puck retrieval near the left side even after the Sharks change. And this will be settled back down off the long stretch, bounces off a stick blade and sent in the corner. Alex Gregorich now has to try to find it. Sharks here for Gibbs. Off the spin and turn, Gibbs now gets a wrister off. That was one of the Sharks' better chances in this last several minutes. Will force a draw. Looks like Gibbs just has to readjust a couple of those gloves. They're going to need number 25 if they want to get back. That's one of the reasons why he wears the A on the sweater. So Gregorich normally with the top hand. See what he can do on the other side against Andrew Taylor. This will be won by the Voyagers. Circle back in behind their own net. And look to break this one out. Humphrey, this is a great pass. He loses an edge, but he's still strong enough to stay up on his feet as he picks this one up now off the back skate, and the Sharks will take a long flip down the ice. They're not looking to connect a lot of these passes right now. They're playing more of the dump and chase, and I'm not sure if that's the right thing you want to do when you're down by a couple of goals, but you never know what it can create. If you're going to dump and chase, you got to actually win those pucks in the back end. Settle back around now for Luke McCarthy. Elijah Gibbons will stop it. Outstretched now, Josh Hill gets closed off the long feed. This will go right too far for Gregorich. Will be possession for McCarthy. Couple connected passes off the backhand, lofted out of the air, and Gibbons made that one look simple. Probably wasn't. 15:42. So almost 5 minutes expired into this third period. Sharks need a couple of goals as this is now into the right side boards. Battle for the puck now. Kieran Carlisle is the one that emerged with it. A leaving give for Papandrea. This one gets cut off. Hunter Keppel will spin. He's stuck in his own end right now to the neutral zone near the players' benches. It's Papandrea. He'll let a wrister go. And he'll be right on the trap here for Lay. We get a little bit of a push after, but the Sharks, I think at this point from where the score line is, are just going to be concentrated on scoring goals and nothing more. So the clock is not the enemy yet, but I would say in about another 5 minutes and 15 seconds, you start to think about that in the back end of your mind, and that's when the Sharks need to go. That's why we mentioned that a little bit earlier. Intercepted now by Nathan Albrecht. He'll throw this one back and around the end boards here for DeFay. And the Sharks have to defend an odd man rush. Here's a cross pass. His slide over for Elijah Gibbons. And now toward the left side red line and sent back down, rolling vulcanized rubber. Albrecht. Chip this one off the glass. Bounces off Papandrea's skate. No problem for him. He'll get it back. He tried to find Justin McComas. He wasn't even ready for the pass. He looked back around and said, hey, what the heck are you doing? 14:42. This will be iced against the Sharks. Just not sharp here on this Sunday. Again, that's a shame because Josh Hill scored the first goal, but you know one goal is not going to be enough against the Muskegon Voyagers. Going to have to dig deep when you're not playing your best in one of these games. But again, Muskegon's just as good, and so are the Sharks. As this one will be tipped a couple times into the neutral zone. Make something happen. A couple reverse hits. That absolutely took out Chris Hawkins, who's no stranger to the physical contact. He goes to the bench. Papandrea stood him up. And not often you see many hits like that out in the open ice. So Jake Prober on the back end with Siegel. Justin McComas will take one of these draws. Hasn't done so in a while. McComas wins it straight back for Jake Prober. Into the traffic, easy glove save there for Lay, and we'll do it again. So Justin McComas, this time he'll go right to Helgamo. A couple of saves there for Lay. He's had a pretty good game. Again, he did so yesterday. This hasn't been worked as much as he probably should be. Max Campbell now will go ahead and get a puck retrieval and use that energy up. That's what Matt Berger's squad. If you're going to have 35, 40-second shifts, you better use up all that energy. Here's a connected pass for Prober. This one hits the glass full speed. It's always hard to find the target when you're moving 100 miles an hour. As this one's knocked away. Goes right to Huffner off the stick lift. He still spins and turns with it. And now outstretched Cole Halgamo on a one-on-one. Halgamo will leave. Thought he might try to take that himself. Campbell throws it toward the net, takes a hit, and the Sharks don't do anything without possession, as now it's a 2-on-1. Luke McCarthy's the trailer, and this will go right to Gibbs. You don't want to be caught in between, and I'm not saying that's what Cole Halgamo did there, but you kind of like to see him just go to the net with energy off the one-on-one and see what he can do himself, because you guys are more talented enough to do so. When you're looking for that extra pass, it just gives the time for the defense to catch up behind you. Jeremy Joyce will win this one straight back. It's a good outstretch reach there for Joe DeWitt. Keeps him in the zone. That'll allow Muskegon to burn some more time. Backing around now for Spencer Bowman, the captaincy. Sharks just need something for the pilot light to ignite, and they might find their way back into this game. Joe Gibbs on the backhand will go up and out of play. So Groth going to give some signals to his defensive mate alongside for Gibbs. Grego going to get set to take this draw. This one won clean now off the straight back, and a shot be blocked away by Lay as Hill gets knocked down. Grego does get the steal. Lofted here for Spencer Bowman. Toward the right side, this goes up off the post. Groth, slapper. This one will circle around the inboards, and Muskegon will pick this one up nicely for Ryan Gamber. And toward the right side, Gibbons spinning. He's got to get back up quickly. Sharks will get possession, allow the goaltender to get settled. It's a 3-on-1 developing. Groth with the bomb, and he missed it all. Didn't look for a cross pass there. Now Muskegon quickly try to go the other way. As this gets sticked away from Jeremy Joyce, sent back around the inboards, and now the Sharks will be the first to get to it. Bowman chipped this off the glass. This is not out. Bounces off a couple of stick blades. Looked like hopscotch there as Theo Goody made his man miss right into the boards. And now Muskegon will flip this one down for Elijah Gibbons. Shoveled in the corner now. Here's a brace for some contact. Took out one of the Sharks. Polosha got met up at the line. And now Muskegon. There Gramber Another touch. Here's a slapper. Good save, Gibbons. Kevin Belvich was the one that let it fly. Now on the right side board off the outside of the post, and we'll get a whistle. Muskegon doesn't like it. Maybe the net maybe got dislodged at 11:50. Have to go in the third. I don't think there's going to be too much to complain about in this game. It's been pretty even on both sides as far as calls and all of that. I'm just surprised, and maybe I shouldn't be, in between all the Stanley Cup playoff games, but the MHL playoffs, we're getting tight to the vest as far as anything that probably could be called won't, unless it's something savage. Here's a wrister. This one goes high and off the glass, picked up now for the Sharks as it's shoveled in the corner now. Kieran Carlisle throws the body out and try to get the puck. Flip back around now behind their own end, and then we're almost at the halfway point of the third. Muskegon's got a 2-goal lead. Pass does not connect. Riley Picture off the back skate, able to get around 2 Sharks as this is now toward the blue line side, right up the neutral gut. Riley Picture still dancing with it. Excellent skate for number 72 as this is now near the right side end boards. Picture still trying to send this back around. He'd end up just killing a whole bunch of time, and that's what Zach Dance is going to like. Hunter Keppel sends this one down. The Sharks have iced it against themselves. We've said that a few times. So where is that elusive second goal going to come from for Waterford? Or is it going to? Because right now from that second period in this third, it does not seem like it's going to materialize. If the Sharks want to make this appear, it's not going to happen on a thin air. It's going to have to take effort. Andrew Taylor has the insurance goal for the Muskegon Voyagers. They made it 3-1 in that second period. Theo Goody's clearing attempt does not get out as it's put into the right side red line now. Papandrea now try to give chase in behind the net as the Voyagers will converge. Settle now for Luke McCarthy off the spin and turn. McCarthy still with it. Centers off the outside of the goal mouth. And this is knocked away from Gamber. Kept in at the line by DeWitt. And now the Sharks look to break out, but the Voyagers are there. Hunter Keppel's with it. He's got a spin, but he's going to lose the puck. There's just no reinforcements as the Sharks were in the midst of a change. Now the Voyagers are off sides. 10:28. Anytime the Sharks do get in the zone, it's usually a 1-on-3, 1-on-4. That's not the way you're going to be able to get the job done. You can only buy space for so long. Justin McComas try to win a key neutral zone draw. Sharks do send this one back. Prober off the chip there for Zach Molkowski. It's loose out in the middle of the slot. Gibbons makes a pad save as this one gets shoveled in the corner. Muskegon with it in the high slot. Double deflection. This bounces off the Sharks and behind the net of Gibbons. And now Waterford trying to get out of their own, and they don't connect the pass. And they'll have to set back up here near the right side red line looking for an outstretch, and that's just an easy read for Nathan Albrecht. Picked off right here by McComas. McComas, see what he can do. Wrister. This one a little bit high and off the inboards. Try to bank this off the outside. McComas will pick it up. And this will be shoveled back down. Siegel. Now we'll start again from his own end. Sharks forwards try to get organized. McComas will shovel this one down deep. Mikowski try to win a puck retrieval. 9:30 thereabouts left to go in the third. John Eder with you alongside the Goal Live Sportscast. Muskegon Voyagers win this one. They'll force a Game 5. This one's put to the left side red line. Waterford wins. They win the Bill Long Memorial Cup, but they need at least 2 more goals. Off the tip, they need 2 more to tie. As this one near the right side inboards. A little bit too far for precision, but Riley Picture will get there. No Shark in sight. 9:12 left in the third. So no goals yet to speak of in this final stanza. And as it stands, the Voyagers still have a 3-1 lead. It is Jeremy Joyce and Isaiah Humpner. Humper's got the insurance. The windmill near the right side blue line gets around and banks it off of Gibbons to give the Voyagers a 3-1 lead. That was at the 6-minute marker of the second. That's still where we stand. D-zone draw. As we sit with 9:12 left in the third, this is where I talk about the entry points in a period. Now the Sharks really have to press. Whatever they have, they got to use it all now. As this is recollected now for Gibbs. It's swallowed up in the right side corner and right to Riley picture, but Muskegon's been masterful. They've closed up all those lanes. It's kind of what the Sharks did in the inverse game. Both teams have made adjustments to each other. And it's all about that punch back after. Again, the Sharks still have some time in this game, but if they can't find it, they're going to have to find something in Game 5 that is a heck of a lot better than they showed in Game 4. Because if you go to Muskegon and you play like this, Muskegon's probably going to lift the cup. And I'm not trying to be hyperbolic or mean or one way, just telling you as I see it. And you know Terry is saying it the same way upstairs because he knows this is what Waterford did to Muskegon yesterday. 8:31 as the time is going to start to tick away and become a factor. Here's a drop back now for Hill. Here from right to left, this is what the Sharks want to work. Joe Gibbs, here's a wrister, he hit the post, he scores! Joe Gibbs, that's the answer, and he made it materialize, and now the Sharks have life. Joe Gibbs starts it from 200 feet. Nothing much to this play except for number 25. Take the wrister off the top of the left bar and in. Are we destined for the same score line? That's the question. Good shots there and alongside goal live. Just a McComas, so a bear hug for Joseph Gibbs. That's a perfect camera shot, guys. Good work there. As this is settled back down now for Josh Hill. And Lay will stop this amongst the goal crates. Spencer Bowman try to send this out front. Here's a slap shot by Hill. So Groth and Hill get the assist from Gibbs' goal. And the Sharks are within one. Here's a flip, not out of the zone now. Sharks need to do some busy work. Here is Humpner off the drop. Don't want to give up one here. Gibbons, big save with the glove hand as this is still loose. Hoffner gets his twig. Sharks try to get it out. Isaiah elbow hold it in. Good work here for the Voyagers, but we will get our whistle at 7:42. That's a shame for the Voyagers because they were hunting after that Gibbs goal, but Gibbs takes it from 200 feet, works his way to the left side blue line, takes a high left wrister off the post and in. That's about as good of a shot that you'll see. I don't care, MIHL, FPHL, whatever you want. You can go across the leagues. That Gibbs shot will play anywhere. We'll get a neutral zone draw when it's all said and done. As we get some extending talking to in between Jeremy Joyce and Kieran Carlisle.
Thank you to our sponsors for supporting your Waterford Sharks all season long.
We're getting closer to that 2:30 Eastern Standard Time marker here, probably where this is going to get to nail-biting time if it isn't already 7:42. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's another one-goal game between these two. It would be the fourth straight in this postseason. We've had 4-3, 6-5, 3-2 was our score line yesterday. Will it hold in the inverse for Muskegon to force a Game 5? Will the Sharks get another goal to tie this one up? Again, they did break the spell of 3 unanswered here for Muskegon as Joe Gibbs made it a 3-2 game. This is recollected now for Muskegon off the drive. Here's a chance at the net, does not connect. Hunter Keppel send this back around for Kieran. He couldn't handle it clean. I think Kieran's going to get it now in the second after a bounce off Gibbons' pad. And off the long flip, hand-eye does not connect for Kieran there. And this will go back now for Muskegon. Kevin Belvich get a chance to play with the puck off the back pass. And the captaincy, Riley Picture, looks to get it started now. And off the right, this is a recollect here for Ryan Gamber. Send this around the inboards. Kieran Carlisle. Now for Andrew Polsha. Polsha braces for a hit as they'll send this one in now amongst the inboards. Polsha now trying to get the retrieval. Sent in front of the goal mouth, and that one was saved by Lay. Sharks desperate to try to keep this one in. This will go up into the netting. That'll put it out of play at 6:40. So Gibbs made something happen. Should give the Sharks a little bit of energy. We'll see how much more this can carry them to. Will we get an overtime game for the first time in this series? McComas against McCarthy. McCarthy finally gets this one. The Sharks have been good on the draws. Yesterday, that was not the case in the offensive zone circle. As Siegel now off the step up and toward the right side boards. This will be knocked away by Muskegon. Molkowski off the spin and turn. And bounce off of Helgamo, denied the breakout pass for Belvich. Should have been all on his lonesome. Sharks have to wait for the press. And now Helgamo sends this in deep. Molkowski didn't know if he got hooked. They don't see a hand in the air. We press on as McComas will pin against the wall and try to win a puck battle. Cole Helgamo on his back skate. And Muskegon will elect for the long flip. Here's a race for it. Prober gets there first. So it'll be a tired set of Voyagers on the ice for Zach Dance. 5:57 left to go in the third. Take a look and see who's on the ice as far as the defensive units. Groth and Papandrea with the Grego line with Spencer Bowman and Josh Hill. Gregorich gets set to take the draw. This time he can't win it. And off the backhand now for Kevin Belvich. Sending in deep. The Voyagers take a change. Try to get their troops all organized and get some fresh ones out there for this stretch run of 5:43. Sharks have the entry. Gregorich trying to fly him with speed, but it eludes Josh Hill. A little bit too far. Isaiah Huffner will throw this one in the corner. Sharks now. Here for Alex Gregorich. Gregorich trying to send a shot to the net looking for Josh Hill, but this one gets deflected. And now Muskegon has possession. Sharks, a couple extra back on that blue line. And if Muskegon's smart, they'll look for a couple extra seconds to break it out. Elijah Gibbons dove all the way out to hold it because he didn't like what was manufacturing for a possible 2-on-1. And thankfully, he did get a piece of it. All-important D-zone draw here. Sharks need this puck. Kieran Carlisle can't win it. This one will hit the glass and stay in play. Picked up now on the final 5 of this third. Joe Gibbs has the only right now of this final frame. Keppel right across. Bounce off the backboard. Sharks now trying to hunt for it with Polsha and Kieran Carlisle. 61 and 16 have been the horses for this team. And Joe Gibbs, who's got the latest, has also been that backhand line savant. Can they continue to get the job done? Stick will knock this away for Siegel for a moment. Siegel strong enough to get to it. Has to play down. Polosha knocks it down. He gets all spun around. Molkowski now trying to get this in behind his own net. 4:30 left to go in the third. Can the Sharks find one final press to tie? Is Muskegon going to be able to hold? Either way, we have the same score line as yesterday, but the inverse for teams. Settled around now for Gibbs. Got the one lone forechecker for Ryan Gamber as the Sharks will take their changes. They know they have some time here as they're only down 1 now. Josh Hill off the seam wrister. This one saved by Lay and shoveled in the left side red line. Gregorich now trying to go ahead and locate it. This is bounces away from the zebra right to Papandrea. And the Sharks will gain the red and safely flip it in. Look, Precision was going to look, but Lay will hold. It'll be an ozone draw here for the Sharks. So with 3:55 left to go here in the third, Papandrea will work off the back pass, see if it comes to him. That's exactly what happens. Papandrea now wrister toward the net, and this will be in the catching glove of Lay. So 5 seconds expired from that last play that we had. The Voyagers trying to hold on to the 3-2 lead. Joe Gibbs, a beautiful shot to the left side post, off of it and in to the top left of the mesh that beat Lay. Prober deflected. This will be to the left side red line now. Groth on the back skate now. Here's a race for it. The Sharks will get there first. Gregorich should pass a little bit too far for him. This will give the Voyagers possession. They don't need to do too much to ice it here because they're already out ahead. Gregorich now wins the battle. It's Josh Hill. He tries to find a tuck. He can't do so near the left side post as Lay cut him off, and so did the rest of the defense. Opportunity now. Race for the puck. Elijah Gibbons will meet it outside of the goal crease. Gibbons is near the right side red line, and the Sharks will escape the pressure. Not often you see the goalie go that far out of the zone, but Gibbons able to get away with it there. As this will be a race for a Joe Gibbs on his backhand. Has to shovel in the corner. He can't beat two players. Well, actually, he can. He can beat everybody, but you got to make the smart play there just to find the entry. As this will be settled back down now for the 2-on-1 that's developing. See if the cross pass materializes. They want the back pass, and Gibbons probably thankful that they take the shot there. That's just a much easier save. As we have a couple players in the goal crease. Hopefully that they're okay down there for Nathan Albrecht. Well, that was 23, excuse me. I only saw the 3. Chris Hawkins got a face full of mesh. 2:41 left to go in this third. We'll see if Matt Berger or Zach Dance's squads wants a TO. Berger's going to take his. So Joe Gibbs, a little bit of a sportsmanship there, gives a little bit of a tap across the back. And for Hawkins as Matt Berger's squad. Got to figure out what they want to do here in this 2:41. You know they got to manufacture a goal, but they're going to talk it over and see how they're going to do it. And we'll see a lot of 61, 16, a lot of 25, probably 5 on the ice as well to kind of lead the charge. And then you have the back end for Bowman and Gregorich. Cole Halgamo, really like to see those guys get a critical goal here as this is getting late in the postseason. Again, either way, this is the last game at Lakeland Ice Arena for this season. If we need to go to Game 5, that will be at Lakeshore Sports Center on a Saturday side. Timing still TBD. Sharks can change all that, though, with at least one more goal. 2:41 is all we got left of Game 4, unless the Sharks tie it. This one settled back down now for Papandrea, and off the wrap, Gibbons able to make the save. It's very loose, and now toward the right side red line. This is with the Sharks, looking for the outstretch pass. It'll be taken away by Zach Grover in the full beard and all. Settle back down now for Groth. Surveying his way across the red line, shot from 100 feet, and this will be held by Lay, and the Sharks will get a draw. Who do you trust the most in a game like this? We've been able to say that a lot between these two teams because it's all been one-goal games. But when you really need a goal, and then when you're Muskegon, you really need to stop on the other end. What personnel do you put on the ice that you trust the most? That's what you watch in times like this. This one bounces. Lay able to make the save. Here's Groth. Into the traffic. That one goes wide. McCarthy now trying to get a puck retrieval. He'll take the long flip, and we will get a whistle. As Isaiah Humpner would have had a one-on-one. We may get another timeout or just the goaltending change, or the pull, excuse me, here for Elijah Gibbons. That is what we will have. So it'll be a 6-on-5 for a minute 57. The Sharks going to pull out all the stops, and I'm not going to say it's early, or within that 2 minutes, that's what you do. But now you got to hold on to this puck. Kieran Carlisle now for Spencer Bowman against picture. It's Gregorich. Throws it around the embankment here for Papandrea. Pass just stays in the zone, looking for a deflection. Bounces off of Bowman. Sharks can't get it out. Is this one picked back up for Humpner? Humpner can ice this thing. And Humpner, this bounces toward the left side of the red line. A diving play will knock it away. My goodness. This is still dangerous, though, on the Sharks' end, as they got about 80 seconds left to go here. Spencer Bowman. This will get flipped back down the ice and blown dead against the Voyagers. Not for a diving play about 15 seconds ago in real time, it would have been a 4-2 ball game here for Muskegon, and that would have been done. But as it stands, the Sharks still have a couple breaths of life. Kieran Carlisle will take it against Luke McCarthy. Again, no surprise there. And maybe Zach Dance now will go ahead. He indeed will give his troops an extra set of breath as we get a 40-second TO. Much, much different, much more shape of pace here than it is in Muskegon when you get about those 90-second to 2-minute timeouts there for Terry on the radio side. But You know, he's thinking about on this side, try to force a Game 5. Muskegon trying to get their comeuppance from last year when the Sharks frankly took it to them in a sweep. And this one might come down all the way to a Game 5 in the next year. Two teams that can give as good as they get. And minute 16 is an eternity here for the Sharks. And I will say this, if they can make the pressure, they could find a way to get one against Leigh. That would not be a surprise. But you got to make sure you keep that puck in the zone, probably take your extra attacker, get some traffic out in front, and if you find something good, you can't hesitate here. If you're Muskegon, your only apropos of choice here is get the puck out of the zone. We'll have to fight another day for a minute 16. So Groth now looks like one of the Sharks, Nick Papandrea, has a towel above his face. I think he might have taken a puck. That's going to not be very good for the Sharks because they're going to need number 5 on the ice. They're not going to have him here for the rest of this third period, as this is not kept in. Sharks have to check back up. The stick is broken. Josh Hill doesn't like it, but Sharks can't really think about that right now as Polsha throws it in. It's solved by Leigh, who'll hold on to it. That is a break for the Sharks. But we did see Papandrea escape with the towel over his face, number 5, and toward the right side of where Elijah Gibbons has vacated. So he had to have taken a puck or something toward the face that we just didn't see. So Polsha now toward the left side dot. Sharks have 50 seconds left to go, try to make something happen here in Game 4. If not, they're going to go to Muskegon on Saturday. This will be settled back down for Groth. His pass bounces, and Gibbs has to circle back and pick it up. Joe Gibbs off the stick handle. This will bounce on the player's bench. It'll have to be a neutral zone draw. Elijah Gibbons probably have to find his way back to the goal crease, I'd have to imagine. We'll see if we get the motion here from Matt Berger. And here comes Elijah, because at the neutral zone, there really is no way that you're going to be able to afford to keep him out of the crease because there's no time for him to get back unless he pulls a Ryan Miller. If you never saw that highlight, make sure you do after this one. He made a diving save all the way from his bench. So Elijah Gibbons is back in the goal crease here. And now Groth, see what he can do. On his backhand, looking for a lift. This goes off the outside of the cage. Sharks done 25 seconds here in this Game 4. It's Polosha now into the corner. Spin and turn for Kieran Carlisle. Sharks desperate to try to put anything they can at the net. Muskegon to try to press this against the boards. Gibbs, sweet play off the shot. Here's a big rebound. That was a good save there for Leigh as he made one man miss. This will go up into the netting. 8 seconds left. Gibbs had the poise to take that shot after he made his man miss and drop to the ice and attempt for a shot block. And if you are the Voyagers, probably is no mistake to try to block out in front of the net and sell out. You got to eat pucks at this point. Sharks do have a Game 5 in their pocket. They were hoping not to have to use it. Slapper, this deflected. Another rebound down to 3. And the Muskegon Voyagers force a Game 5. We go back to Muskegon on Saturday. And this series is not done yet. Another one-goal game. This time Muskegon pulls out a 3-2 victory to keep their season alive. And it'll be a winner-take-all at Lakeshore Sports Center tomorrow on Saturday next week. And as we look at the Sharks, all of them gassed. They know that they gave the complete effort. That second period was the one that did them in. It was just a single goal for Gibbs in that third as the Sharks salute their fans for the final time at Lakeland Arena, but their job's not done either, and neither is Muskegon. Muskegon did their job. They took one on the road. Waterford did as well, and we will see you next Saturday for a winner-take-all Game 5. Again, game time to be TBD, and I will have the game story up there about Tuesday for a Hopeless Sports Guy. That's it, and that's all, everybody. It's a 3-2 final. Muskegon takes this one. We'll see you for Game 5 next week. Peace, guys.